All right. Let us give a big round of applause to Rajeev Khanolkar.
Thank you, everybody. How many of you have heard about Secure AI Factory? Quite a few. So let me tell you why people have started looking at AI Factory. The reason it has all come about is because of the AI boom. Everybody's looking at using a large language models to get reasoning out of AI. And people are discovering a couple of things. They started using cloud installation, and suddenly people are recognizing that they're getting bills 300, 400,000, and it's invisible money they are spending on buying tokens from the cloud. And this is where people started looking at on-prem installation. Nvidia came up with the concept of AI factory. AI factory is supposed to produce tokens, and Secure AI factory is a Cisco version of AI factory. More importantly, why it is required. So, a couple of things I learned being at this conference. One was of using tokens uncontrolled from a cloud provider is very costly, very expensive. Couple of other things also I learned in this conference was data sovereignty. People started talking about data, that if you use cloud-based LLMs, you're going to share your data and who knows where it will end up. There was something very interesting I heard just about an hour ago when Tom Gillis presented, and that is about which software. Mythos has been released to find vulnerabilities in the software. But guess what? If you submit your code to this LLM, which is in the cloud, it's not about creating software because now you can create software very easily using some of these models. But it's about the logic, and that is your IP. And you're going to lose the logic or that IP, how you got it done. It's like the recipe made by a chef, right? So this is why there is a huge growth in AI factory. Now people are looking at implementing applications on-prem, and what that is what is leading to different kind of AI workloads. When you start looking at AI workloads, you start with a small pilot. That pilot is successful with a single node. But as you start scaling it out to a single node with multiple GPUs, then multiple nodes with multiple GPUs, number of the factors that come into play, and you have to know what use cases you're looking at, what is your GPU strategies. GPUs can really break the bank. There is a whole software stack. Number of customers that I have talked to, they realize that they have data centers, but they don't have power and cooling. So that's another factor. When you implement something like Secure AI Factory on-prem, what are the operational challenges? What are the security requirements? And why it is important, how to do it. We as Gruve, we have experience in implementing it and operating it. Cisco launched AI part over 18 months ago. So look at it, it's a very complex stack now. So what has happened over here is Cisco has acted like a system integrator. They brought in various hardware components and software components together to give you one single place where you can buy a solution from. So to look at it in the middle, you got Cisco's UCS server.
Yes.
It connects to different storage providers like NetApp, VAST, etc. It has a GPU cards, and there is a networking piece. You get operating system from Red Hat, and on top of that, you get LLMs, NIMS and Nvidia. This is all coming in as a prepackaged solution. That's one good thing Cisco has done, and it has been all tested. Next thing is if you break it down, it's very simple. There are only three parts. One is your server. So Cisco has Series C or Series X server that connects to a data storage. That data could be from NetApp, Pure, VAST, so there are various options that Cisco has tested. And on the other side, where it is hosted, AI nodes can be very, very big and it can throw a lot of traffic. In fact, I was talking to somebody that Cisco has now launched 800 gig switch. That's a huge amount of data that you can process. That's a network fabric. But if you look at any high level concept, it is where it is compute, network, and storage, right? How Cisco has done this. So if you look at it on the right side, you would see hardware that supports this AI part or AI factory. From Cisco, with Hat OpenShift as an operating system. Next thing is you get Kubernetes cluster. And the third thing that comes in pre-built is Nvidia names so that you have a basic infrastructure in place that you can get started. Now, what customers are doing, it is their responsibility to manage the data. It could be vector database, it could be your SQL server. Finally, NVIDIA has rewards and names for Red Hat AI solution that you can run on top of this server. This is the basic solution. Now, where does Groove come in? What is very important is once you put this infrastructure in place, you need to know what is happening there. You need an observability. That's the piece that Splunk brings to the table. And we can share a lot of best practices around what that means and how to optimize and run it in a secure way. Next thing is Isovalent over timescale. It tells you the traffic between different components of your operating system and applications can be safely integrated. So you know who is talking to who, but you don't see the data. The last piece that Cisco has added is AI Defense, which actually looks at your model, AI models and AI security and whether a model is poisoned or not. What is interesting here, unlike previous applications, if you store bad data, you can look at it and delete it. With models, you don't know what to delete because it goes in and it is lost. This is the big difference with the AI defense. And what we provide is the best practices and how to manage it, how to operate it so that you have a very safe, secure, and optimized environment. This is all about AI factoring components. Let's look at when customers look at security around AI and LLM, they always think about AI defense, LLM security. But there is something more to it than just LLM security. So Isovalent is a very critical part of the overall infrastructure. You get very rich observability at the operating system level. You get security and compliance. And lastly, is it reliable? Do you have a reliable connectivity? I mean, I can spend rest of the hour just talking about this area. So I would encourage all of you to go visit Cisco's website, take a deep dive into what Isovalent does. We are here to support you and provide you the necessary knowledge. But this is a very critical component and part of Secure AI Factory that makes it secure as compared to Cisco's competitors. Next thing is if you look at the software stack, it runs on top of the NVIDIA hardware. There is Red Hat OpenShift. There is NVIDIA communication library. There's OpenShift AI and NVIE. These are the software components that come in. You get to know how to operate, optimize it. Let me go to the most important piece that I like. It's all about AI defense. Cisco's AI defense comes with over 2,000 red teaming attempts that allows you to validate whether a model is corrupted or not, right? It will test you to see whether you are getting the results you are expecting. If not, you know that there is something wrong with the model. What I have seen talking to many people, there are a lot of LLMs available on Hugging Face, and number of them are corrupted, which is something one should be aware of. But how do you know it is corrupted or not? There's no such thing as I check the binary and it is good or bad, because once the data goes in, it gone in a black hole. So you need something like AI defense to check whether data is good, it is clean, it is sanitized. The second piece is runtime security, and that is also something that AI defense can do. Using API calls, you can insert it between your application and LLM to make sure that all the data is checked and it is provide runtime application. For example, you don't want somebody to ask LLM to do something which is security related issue or the safety related issues. Like, can you provide me a process for making a bomb? Or please tell me how can I poison my HR department? People can ask all kinds of crazy questions. You want to avoid that, and that's what runtime protection is all about. Right? So this is a very important thing that AI defense provides. Let me move to the next one. So really, it's all about once you get your prototype done, you have compute, you have network connectivity, and you have storage in place. As you start scaling it, it's very simple. You add more C series or X series servers and you expand. And it is very, very body. So that's what I really like about Cisco solution. We have it tested. We have the best practices that you can come in. talk to us. Last and the most important thing is observability. If you don't observe something, you don't know what is going on. Is there a security issue? Is there performance issue? And this is a very important component or important capability that Splunk observability brings to the table. It gives you performance related data regarding CPUs, APUs, network performance, etc. It also tells you what is running. Are there any bottlenecks issues related to Kubernetes clusters? It is what is most important out of all this, which I talked earlier, which is about tokenomics, what we call it token usage. Just because you have now got an on-prem AI solution, you don't want one department to overuse that and starve the others, right? So you want to have some sort of accountability, internal accountability that you can set up using Splunk. So this is all about observability and monitoring. Lastly, let me close out this session by asking, announcing a very simple thing. As Gruve, what we have realized in Cisco has created a beautiful architecture that makes it easy to provide your on-prem secure token factory. But I think to convert that into actually an orderable form, we have created multiple sizes of multiple sizes of platform. We are calling it PulseAI platform. What it does is it gives you a small, medium, or a large size that can support you. You can get it started. It is configured, it is tested, and it meets Cisco's design design requirements that are being laid out. What is more important is we also bring with that some of the application capabilities for building AI agents. Lastly, and the most important thing is CapEx and OpEx. This platform is available in both models, CapEx and OpEx. So if you would like to learn more about this, come and visit us at booth kiosk SP19. We're just right down the corner after this presentation. So with that, thank you very much.
Rajeev Khanolkar, everybody. Big round of applause. Thank you very much, Rajeev.